So we've been hearing the term asymmetrical warfare flung around a lot since the start of this Iran war, especially by people like Pete Hegseth, who I'm not sure actually understand what that term means or where it comes from. But basically, um, Iran has made itself a master of asymmetrical warfare. And in many ways, they've been preparing for this war for decades, and we haven't. And that could be a major issue for the United States. So the thing is that Iran has spent decades building a system that is not designed to win conventional wars. It is designed to make them unwinnable for anyone else. That system, rooted in proxies, missiles, maritime leverage, cyber tools, and political endurance, defines the 2026 conflict just as clearly as tanks or aircraft do. What looks like a scattered set of crises is, in reality, a coherent strategy built to stretch adversaries across geographic, time, and political will. Iran has made an art out of building leverage out of weakness. Iran learned early on that it could not match the United States or Israel in conventional strength. Instead, it built a model that turned structural disadvantages into strategic assets. Proxies became Iran's most reliable instruments. Hezbollah, Iraq militias, and the Houthis allowed Tehran to strike across multiple fronts without exposing its own forces. These groups give Iran reach, deniability, and the ability to escalate or de escalate without committing to a direct fight. Missiles and drones form the second layer. Iran cannot dominate the skies, but it can saturate them. Low cost, high volume salvos force adversaries to spend far more defending themselves than Iran spends attacking. I have a whole other video about this. But even intercepted missiles serve Iran's purpose by draining resources and revealing vulnerabilities. Maritime disruption aids global leverage. The Strait of Hormuz is not just a waterway, it is a pressure point on the world's economy, and by threatening shipping, Iran can turn a regional conflict into a global economic problem, raising oil prices and political stakes far beyond the battlefield. Cyber operations and sanctions evasion networks complete the architecture. They allow Iran to retaliate without triggering overwhelming responses and to keep its economy functioning well enough to sustain long conflicts. Survival is not incidental to Iran's strategy, it is the strategy. Now, the ways that this plays out in the 2026 Iran war are very interesting. Every major feature of Iran's asymmetrical doctrine is visible in the current conflict. Proxies have intensified attacks across the region. Missile and drone waves force adversaries to defend bases, cities, and shipping lanes simultaneously. Maritime harassment raises insurance costs and threatens global supply chains. And cyber operations probe infrastructure and complicate military planning. So the goal is not a decisive battlefield victory. The goal is to expand the conflict's geography, raise its economic and political costs, and erode adversaries' cohesion. Iran wants a war that is too expensive to escalate and too complicated to end clearly. This strategy forces the United States and its partners into a reactive posture. They must defend widely dispersed targets, manage global economic fallout, and calibrate responses to avoid triggering a broader regional war. Every new front Iran opens dilutes their ability to concentrate force. Every ambiguous proxy attack complicates retaliation, and every economic shock tests political patience. The metrics by which success will be judged in this war will not be territorial. They will be political and economic. Proxy tempo. Rising attacks against Iran's ability to pressure multiple fronts. Shipping disruption. Higher costs and insurance spikes showing maritime leverage working. Air defense strain. frequent missiles and drone salvos forcing adversaries to burn resources, cyber disruptions, successful intrusions revealing deeper asymmetric reach, and coalition cohesion. Fractures among Iran's adversaries are the clearest sign of strategic gain. If these indicators worsen for Iran's opponents, Tehran's asymmetric model is doing exactly what it was built to do. The bottom line is Iran's asymmetric architecture is not fragile, it is adaptive. It turns time, geography, and political endurance into weapons. In 2026, that architecture shapes a war that no one can end quickly and no one can win outright. The most important fact is that conventional superiority cannot dismantle a system designed to survive it. And every day that we spend in this war, we are getting sucked further and further into a quagmire that will make Iraq and Afghanistan look like a walk in the park.